Welcome to Yin Yoga, to this beautiful outside core class, with a workout that will tone your entire midsection and give you a wonderful stretch. In this class, we shall be working through a variety of lower abdominal and oblique exercises. And we'll finish off with some pelvic and hip stretching. This class will tone up your powerhouse center in and out and provide you with a deep stretch. So if you're ready to get started, let's begin. Begin by hugging your knees into your chest. Make some circles with your back and then go in the opposite direction. Once you're done, come back to center, hugging your right knee in and straightening your left leg out. Bring both knees back to center and then straighten out your right leg, hugging in your left knee towards your chest. Come back to center now. And then straighten your legs towards the ceiling. And keeping your right leg up in the sky, begin to lower your left leg down towards the mat, trying to keep your legs straight if you can, and then bringing it back up to meet the right, and then drop the right leg down and keep the left leg straight up. So we're performing a move now, a bit like scissors, but just making sure that your legs don't go all the way down to the floor. And once you're done, come back to neutral and bring your legs into tabletop with your upper body lifted, your head resting in your hands and the elbows out to the side with your chin tucked. As you exhale, stretch your legs straight towards the wall, as low as you're able to maintain a comfortable back and neutral pelvis and spine. As you inhale, stretch your straight legs all the way up to the ceiling and repeat this 8 times. Double straight leg stretch. Return now into a neutral position. Exhale to engage the core. Inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, lift the upper body to the tips of the shoulder blades, as you did before, and stretch one leg away and gently draw the other leg as close as you can towards your chest, maintaining a stable pelvis, and try to hold on to the outer ankle and shin. And then pause to inhale and exhale as you switch around, bending the other leg towards you and straightening out the other leg. When you're doing this, repeat it 5 times on each leg, and just visualize a tray of marbles resting on the pelvis, not letting them roll off. And again, just watching for that neutral pelvis that must be maintained at all times. Once you're done, come back into tabletop position again. Once again, core engaged, lifting your upper body up, hands in your head, let the elbows fall out to the side. Inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, bringing your left elbow to meet the right knee, and let the right elbow come down towards the floor. And stretching the other leg straight. And now, just switch sides and do exactly the same on the other side. Right elbow towards the left knee. And keep switching sides, repeating 5 times on each leg. Exhaling as you twist. Now from here, once you've done that, come back into your mat and come up into a seated position, maybe just rolling up. Once you're here, come to the front of your mat, knees bent, and just hover back. And then lifting your hips up and over, bringing the legs down above your head, flexing the feet, and then bringing the legs together and roll down, vertebra by vertebra, back to the mat, back to the position you started in. And then inhale to prepare, exhale as we roll over again, and we'll perform this 5 times. With this move, take great care not to lean into your neck, but onto your shoulder blades. Use the arms to guide you as you come back down, and make sure that you're not pressing into the neck. This is all about core stability. And it's a great move to help with spine flexion. Once you're done, come onto all fours, box pose, and we'll take a few cat-cows. Inhale, arching the spine, tucking the tailbone in, letting the head drop. Checking that your hips are on top of your knees. Exhale, belly down, tailbone up, opening up the chest, and repeat that 5 times. Once you're done, come back into box pose. From here, moving the left leg back on the mat as far as it can go, and then lifting it up off the mat. And as you do that, begin to lift your right arm at the same time. If you're balanced here, bring the elbow and knee together. and repeat that move 5 times. Once you're done, come back into box position and repeat that on the other side, stretching your right leg out behind you now. And once you've found your balance, lifting up the leg off the mat and potentially lifting the left arm off the mat. And as you did before, bringing the knee and elbow towards each other and repeat 5 times. Once you're done, resume back into box pose. Tuck the toes under and come into a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out, stretching through the calves, pressing your chest towards your thighs, and then jump or walk to the front of your mat into forward fold, feeling that lovely stretch down the back of your legs. Inhale halfway, exhale, come down, and then slowly vertebra by vertebra coming up into mountain pose. Find your center in mountain pose here. Feet should be roughly hip width apart, spine straight, heart above the pelvis, head above the heart. Inhale now, bring the hands up above you into a pistol-like pose, and we'll take a tick-tock stretch. Inhale and come over firstly towards the right hand side, feeling that lovely stretch down the left hand side of your obliques. Come back to center now and take that stretch on the other side. Coming back into mountain pose. Inhale, palms above you. Exhale, coming down to the floor with your palms to the earth. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale down to the mat. And then come back into plank pose. Checking your alignment here. And that you've got a straight line coming down your entire body. Exhale, come now down to the earth, stomach, chest and chin, pressing up into chaturanga. Feel that wonderful stretch in the spine. Exhale now, coming down to the mat and push up into a downward facing dog. And then walking to the front of the mat, coming up halfway, exhale down to the mat, and vertebra by vertebra coming up slowly into mountain pose. And we'll take that exact sun salutation again. Inhale, palms up above you. Exhale, coming down to the mat. Inhale halfway, stretching out the back. Exhale down to the mat. Palms either side of your feet. And then step back into plank pose, engaging your core. Bringing back the navel. Then exhale, bending your elbows slightly, come down onto the mat. Lifting up into a baby cobra. Exhale down to the mat. And then take a downward facing dog. Finding your balance in dog pose. Lifting your right leg off the mat now and bringing it through to the gates of your palms. And we'll take a warrior one. Bending your right knee, but checking it doesn't come in ahead of your right ankle. Checking your spine is straight, lifting the palms up above you. Exhale now, we'll take a reverse warrior, bringing the left arm down to the left leg and lifting your right arm up above you. And then coming down, we'll take an extended side angle pose, bringing your right arm down to meet your right thigh, stretching over with your left hand so that you form a diagonal line from your tiptoes to your finger. From here, straightening out your right leg, we'll take triangle pose, Trikonasana, feeling this wonderful stretch in the hamstrings. Once you're done, cartwheel the hands over, placing the palms either side of your right foot, and step back into plank and take a chaturanga pose. And return to downward facing dog. We'll take that onto the other side, this time lifting up your left leg and bringing your left foot through to meet the gate of your palms. Coming up into our warrior one pose, just checking that your hips are moving towards the front of the mat and not coming out to the side. From here, we'll take a reverse warrior, this time bringing the right hand down to meet the right leg, straightening up the left and bringing the left arm up and over. Reverse warrior. Coming now down into extended side angle. Bringing the left arm to meet the left thigh and the right arm up and over your head. Stretching out those obliques. Now straightening up the left leg and we'll take triangle pose. Watch here that your shoulders aren't coming forward and that you're opening up the chest as much as you can. Exhale now, coming down to the mat. Bring the palms either side of your left foot and take a plank pose. Coming down and take a chaturanga. Once you're done, come into a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out here, feeling that stretch on your calves. Then coming down to the mat into tabletop before we transition into a supine position. From here, engage your core and begin to peel simultaneously your head, your neck, tucking the chin in, and your feet and legs off the mat so that your feet are reaching up at about a 45-degree angle above you. And then bringing your knees into your chest, hugging yourself here, keeping the upper body lifted, balancing on your shoulder blades. And now exhale, straightening out the legs, squeezing them together, and if you can, bringing your arms over your head. And now returning back, hugging your chest, hands coming over to meet your knees. And then just repeat that 3 more times. From here, come down now onto your stomach, and then here, straighten your legs so that they hover just above the mat, and then begin to peel your chest off the mat and interlace the hands behind you as we come into a locust pose. This is incredible for helping with back flexibility and counteracts some of the forward kyphotic movements that you may have been doing throughout the day. Once you're done, slowly coming back down onto the mat and come up into a downward facing dog. And then again, bring your knees down to the mat before lowering your upper body down to the mat so that it's flat on the floor and your legs are behind you. Bring your elbows in towards your rib cage and webbing your hands out in front of you. Squeeze your legs together. And then bending your right leg, coming up, kick, and then bringing it down, lowering it to meet the left, and then repeat this kick on the left hand side. And just swapping and repeating that 5 times on each leg. Once you're done, return to downward facing dog. And now coming forward into plank pose, pressing down onto the mat, stretching out through the calves, engaging the core. Just begin to rock forward and back 3 times. Slowly and with control, and once you're done, come to center and then lifting your right leg off the mat and then replacing it, lifting up the left leg off the mat and then replacing it and rocking back and forward 3 times, stretching through the calves, coming to the center, and just repeat that round 4 more times. If this is too much, come onto your knees. Try not to lift your bum up too high. Once you're done, you'll come into a child's pose. Well done. That was a tough move. And then just gently walk your hands out towards the left hand side. And then come back to center and take that same stretch on the right. Once you're done, come back to center and return to a kneeling position. And then bringing your legs out in front of you so they're straight. If you need to bend your knees slightly, that's absolutely fine. Just find your edge. And then bringing your left leg over your right knee. And then bringing your right hand to meet the left knee. And look over the left shoulder. This is a beautiful and really lovely stretch in the spine here. And come back to center, releasing that pose. We'll take that to the other side. So bringing this time your right leg over your left knee. Stretching your left arm up above you. And meeting the right knee. And looking over, this time, your right shoulder. Observing how that sensation feels for you today. Once you're done, come to center. And then we're going to take what we call a pancake position. So bringing your legs out as far as you can on the mat, trying to flex your feet if possible, and feel free to use a block here, either to sit on or underneath your knees for support. And stretch out as far as you can, and it's an amazing stretch for the pelvis. And now we'll take a final challenging abdominal exercise. Try to straighten your legs in front of you, keeping them open, grabbing hold of your ankles or your feet if you can. Engaging your core, lifting your chin. Beautiful, wonderful for the hamstrings. And now coming down onto the mat. And we'll just take a reclined scissor pose here. So bringing your right leg up straight above you, straightening out your left. Stretching out through those hamstrings, trying to keep your legs as straight as you possibly can. Once you're done here, switch legs. And then hugging your knees into your chest, and then letting your knees drop out towards your armpits and come into a happy baby pose. Grabbing hold of your feet if you can, pressing up through the ankles and the heels. Releasing the legs now, crossing the left leg over the right knee, letting your knees drop down to the side and look out over your left shoulder. Keeping the arms in a T-like position if you can. Again, this is a wonderful pose for detoxification. It really rewards and nourishes your spine. Come back to center now, uncrossing the legs, and take that onto the other side, crossing the right leg over the left and letting the legs drop down towards the left and look out over your right shoulder. Observing the breath, observing the space you've created in your body today. And then bringing your knees back to center, uncrossing the legs, and we'll take a final resting pose, Shavasana. So here, just let your jaw relax, your eyebrows unfurrow, and sink down into the mat, visualizing a light coming into your body and hitting all the areas of tension, just telling you to relax. Observe the breath. Observing how you now feel. Let your feet drop out to the side. Feel the heaviness of your legs, of your shoulders, sinking down into the earth. Once you're done, begin to wiggle your hands and wiggle your legs. Bending your knees, let them fall out to the side, and then coming up into a seated position, crossing the legs, roll the shoulders back, straighten the spine, lifting the arms up above you, palms together, and bring the palms to the chest. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again on the mat soon.